Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Archives. In this episode we're looking at Spearow, a flying type from Generation 1. So let's get started. Spearow is number 21 in the National and Kanto Pokedexes and number 13 in the Johto Pokedex, and it is the tiny bird Pokemon, being a normal flying type. It has two abilities available to it, Keen Eye and Sniper. Keen Eye prevents loss of accuracy, and Sniper means that critical hits will do 3 times damage instead of 2 times damage, which is very helpful. Spearow can be found in several games, namely all the Generation 1 games, all the Generation 2 games, in Fire and Leaf Green in Generation 3, and all the Generation 4 games. It can also be found or obtained in Generation 5 by breeding a Spearow. Looking at Spearow's base stats here, you can see it's a fairly speedy Pokemon with a fairly high attack as well, but nothing really to brag about as it is very low and none of the spats even reach the 100 mark. EV yield, it yields 1 speed EV, which goes in line with the fact that it's a speedy Pokemon, and it takes a minimum of 4,080 steps to hatch an egg, and it is in the flying group for breeding. Being a normal flying type Pokemon, Spearow is weak to rock, electric and ice type moves, and immune to ground and ghost type moves, and is resistant against bug and grass type moves. You can now see on screen the moves that Spearow can learn through leveling up in Generation 5. There is not a great deal here, and it's learned its last move by level 37, which is quite a low level. You can now see the moves that Spearow can learn via TMA-HM in Generation 5. There are quite a few here, including HMO2 Fly. And third here, you can see the breeding moves it can learn, including stuff like Astonish, Feather Dance, and even Sky Attack. And finally here by tutoring, it can even learn Drill Run, Heat Wave, and Uproar and Tailwind, which is a good selection for such a small and unevolved Pokemon, really. As Spearow is not fully evolved, I'm not going to include any section on competitive battling in this episode. So on to kind of looking at the evolution line, a Spearow will evolve into a Fearow starting at level 20. This is a higher level than a Pidgey evolving to a Pidgeotto, however, there is no further evolution line onwards, so do you want a Spearow or a Fearow on your team, or a Spearow or a Pidgey and then their evolution line? I would recommend Pidgey really, because Pidgeot is a stronger Pokemon than Spearow, as we will find out in the next episode. Finally, on to some trivia here. According to the anime, Spearow does not have the ability to perceive colour. This is seen in Pokemon I Choose You, so they're only seen in black and white, much like dogs from our world. Spearow shares the same species name with Pidgey and Natu. They are all known as tiny bird Pokemon, though Natu has sometimes been called a little bird Pokemon. The English names of the Spearow family and Beedrill are almost reversed from the Japanese, in that Beedrill is named Spearow, and Fearow, Spearow's evolution, is called Onidrill. So obviously they decided that their names would be better swapped around already. So that's it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it very much. In the next episode we're looking at Fearow, Spearow's evolution, so hopefully you'll tune in for that. Don't forget to leave a like below and a comment, and of course subscribe. See you next time, guys. Bye.